Over the last 100 years, the importance of the media has grown significantly. Today, it has dominated every aspect of existence, our existence. From parenting to building relationships and forming identities, the media truly infiltrated our lives and has altered them in many ways. And with a generation that is raised through and by the media, it begs the question, is it okay? What has changed? Can we gain control back?
Well, that sounds dramatic. We haven't lost control, have we? Have we? To answer that question, we need to understand media imperialism.
Have you ever played Chinese checkers? It's a board game where, to win, you must infiltrate your opponent by getting all your pieces from your side to theirs. Simple enough, right?
This game is the perfect resemblance to what we know as globalization, that is, the movement of people in large groups to settle in other lands. The result of this is a melting pot of cultures, but a loss of others. The effect of this on media and even social platforms is known as media imperialism, that is, a country or region dominating the media content of another. Hey, you ready?
Yeah, just give me a sec. Now, we're not saying that social media is all that bad. Great things came out of it. It introduced an entirely new system for journalism, that being citizen journalism, which made it easier and somewhat more reliable to follow up on the world's happenings.
And it also made us more informed on other ways of life and has exposed us to other cultures, which made us more accepting of them, albeit the contrast between ours and theirs.
But it didn't stop there. Because of our increased exposure to contrasting cultures, our tolerance of what used to offend us increased. More exposure then leads to the normalization and even glorification of these cultures, specifically the Western culture, as it is what's dominating our platforms.
So we no longer avoid what goes against our values, nor do we speak up against them. We don't want to seem backward-minded, and the result? We imitate what is cool, or as Gustav puts it, we turn instinctively to the person who possesses the quality they or we lack.
So in short, our perception towards our values has changed. Some of us even look at them as inferior.
This is evident in the increase of women believing that modest clothing like the hijab is made to oppress them. Unfortunately, this too has been glamorized.
If we're talking about identity and media imperialism and how this really has affected our traditional Arabic and Islamic identity, let's be honest here. Social media is a reflection. Social media is the mirror.
Dr. Wafa Khalfan is a scholar in digital media and globalization and identity. She studied the direction of the development of the Emirati identity, so we decided to ask her a few questions.
With regards to the type of content that is consumed most by the youth nowadays, how will it affect their identity and to what extent?
Yeah, definitely. I feel that it really affects kids because, I see this is really from my observation, kids and the family, etc. They try to mimic whatever they see, and TikTok is really a very viral platform. And recently there have been lots of discussions on social media about TikTok specifically. TikTok, among all the platforms, is really has this viral way for any trend really that comes up, especially TikTok. Yeah, I do see all the time lots of kids. They are even under the legal age to join TikTok, but they are still posting videos, dancing, following all the TikTok trends. Identity is a very contested concept, very contested notion, and for us really to decide whether the identity of a group of people, of the youth, has been affected or not, we really need to agree on a definition. Talking about today, it definitely has changed because the environment around us has changed, the media platforms have changed. Everything that people are exposed to helps them to see a different image of the world around them. And this really also contributes to them reflecting about themselves and seeing whether they do fit in their environment or not. We're living in a globalized world, so it's really a relative issue. It's not really, we cannot really decide on an objective level that identity could be measured, like it's changed could be measured, but we can always decide the direction that the identity is changing towards.
So, is it okay? Well, of course, but with moderation. We shouldn't sever our connections with the West just because of our contrasting cultures, but rather embrace and learn without losing our authentic identity.
And whether things have changed or not isn't an issue, especially since norms like our preferred way of greeting each other are bound to change. But we mustn't conform to norms that are against our values.
In our case, there was a time when we both lost touch with the Arabic language.
Because English is all we used every hour of every day.
And if you're in these shoes, you're not alone. At least you're not a parent that's only teaching their child English because Arabic is deemed useless to them.
So, what can we do about this?
Well, change starts from within. So first, we must realize that no other language is inferior.
Yes, English is the universal language, but whether you're a child, youngster, or adult, your mother tongue is the connection between you and your culture, which is a defining part of your identity. You don't have to be the next Qabbani or Matharuti. You just need to learn it enough to be able to use it just as well as English.
Second, although we can't take children and isolate them into bubbles to protect their precious minds from the harms of the world, we can still monitor what they consume, and the older kids can be reasoned with. Avoid helicopter monitoring, and instead, have a conversation with them.
And lastly, encourage yourself and others around you to use the Arabic language. It might feel odd at first. You might even be judged by it. But the more you use it, the more those around you grow to feel comfortable with it, and eventually, they will speak it.
At the end of the day, the Arab world, our world, isn't backward-minded. It's a consumer of Western products and therefore accustomed to its cultures. Break the cycle, change your mindset, and create for generations to come.